The wall is actually still gone. Anyways, after 3 weeks of doing absolutely nothing but playing The Last of Us, I decided, you know what, for GameThru, let's try to lighten the mood up a little bit. Does anybody remember Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom? Anyways, Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom came out on the PS2 way back in the day, and it was a collectathon, and for a television show tie-in game, it actually was pretty solid. Now, as a kid, I didn't really play it that much. When all those SpongeBob PS2 games were coming out, the one I actually was hooked on the most was Creature from the Krusty Krab, which I thought was honestly a better game. But now, ever since the release of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, my opinion has shifted a little bit. So, I spent countless hours playing The Last of Us 2, and after being constantly sad, I decided, you know what? Let's spend countless hours playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Now, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom was an amazing collectathon. Kind of easy. I won't put that against it, but it was absolutely incredible to play, and it felt amazing to play. So pretty much, I took notes on the game, and you're pretty much going to see my live feedback, just like it was in The Last of Us 2. So you know what? I'm done talking. Let's just get right into it. Oh, now we have Plankton. Okay. Oh, look at those switches. How the hell does he even pull those down? Wait a minute. This man put his thing to don't obey? What? Oh shit, okay, we're playing now. And oh my god. This game feels absolutely incredible to play. It's so bouncy and it's fun and it's actually thoroughly enjoyable. Okay, now we get to actually start the game. Let's go out into Bikini Bottom. Okay, now that we're in Bikini Bottom, we get to look at a couple more details here. Oh, look at SpongeBob's little idle animations. Oh, they're so adorable. Well, I mean, except the one with the mocking chicken and the face he makes when he sits on his sack. It's a little horrifying. And wait, did he just pull his eye out with his tongue? Oh look, it's Bubble Buddy. I wonder what he has to say.
You see, you're going to need to learn some new bubble-blowing moves if you're going to journey to the 9th dimension and defeat the giant monkey man.
Okay, what about Patrick? Okay, then. Mr. Krabs, maybe?
SpongeBob, this robot crazes Krusty Krab lose money like a No money means no more No more means no more for you.
Huh. You know, I'm kind of done here. Let's go to the nice and peaceful jellyfish fields. Now that I'm here, I'm looking at the map and the background detail, and it's completely parable. All the locations in the background that you see here, like Bikini Bottom, downtown Bikini Bottom, Sand Mountain, the space, or the Sea Needle, all of it is completely parallel to how it is in the map and how it actually is in game. It gives me Jak and Daxter vibes, or the ground war maps from Call of Duty Modern Warfare and how they interpret Warzone and stuff like that. And can I just say, Mermaid Man is extra. And now we get to play as Patrick, and oh my god, Patrick, please don't make that face. And I'm sorry, I just can't get over this fish's walk. I mean, whose man's is this, bruh? But anyways, here at Jellyfish Fields, we actually get the taste of boss life inside SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom with the King Jellyfish. And to be honest, it's kind of underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, it's cool and all, but it's really boring, and his attacks are easy to avoid. But of course, this is the first boss. Of course, he's gonna be easy to kill. What do we expect, you know? Anyways, I think I'm done here. Let's go to Bikini Bottom. Or hell, I guess. Here in Bikini Bottom, we actually get introduced to Sandy, who has a gliding move to get you to far ledges and platforms, and her lasso lets you swing and grab things from distance. It's a perfect way to take out the Shy Tikis or the TNT Tikis. Now, I'm just gonna say this, Downtown Bikini Bottom is probably one of the most intricate levels here, and it works absolutely perfectly. Because mostly levels you go to different areas and it takes you to a different section all entirely. For Downtown Bikini Bottom, you have the bottom, you have the rooftops, and you have the sea needle. But with the rooftops, it has to match the buildings on the bottom, and it has no problem in doing that. It does it absolutely perfectly. And can I just say, the sea needle, I didn't actually know the sea needle was here until literally I had to get the last spatulas for the game. I just thought that was funny. Okay, let's try going to Goo Lagoon, and oh my god, everybody in Bikini Bottom is absolutely brain dead. And tell me why the dialogue, after you pause it instead of continuing it, it kind of feels like there should be a laugh track there, and it's a little awkward, to be honest.
Well, you do look a little red.
Barnacles! That darn robot.
Robot?
A big robot stole everybody's sunscreen.
Oh no! Everyone will burn, and then they'll get all itchy and peel.
Exactly! You can't spend a day at the beach without sunscreen. That sun is way too hot.
But anyways, Goo Lagoon is an interesting level, because how can you replicate water underwater? They use goo, and I mean, obviously that details from the show, but I mean, it translates over to the game just as perfectly as it did in the show. So now we're going to go to the Poseidome, and oh my god, what the hell happened to Sandy? This is our first real boss fight, Mecha Sandy, and the challenge is definitely more up there instead of King Jellyfish. After this, we get to explore more of Con Street and the rest of Bikini Bottom. There's a police station where you can view every robot you've met along your adventure in the game, and you can actually see the enemies and compare them to each other. There's also Sandy's treehouse where, oh my god, Spongebob, please, oh my god. But if you talk to Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, they give you access to the Mermalair, which in my opinion is one of the best levels in this game. The pathways are super complex. The cowboy enemy is slightly more challenging, and he's probably one of the more fun enemies in the game. And you get to fight one of the more fun bosses with Prawn. The puzzles are harder, with the multiple switch puzzles and the ball puzzle. And honestly, the vibe in the Mermalair is just a lot more relaxing and fun. But unfortunately, all things come to an end. We're gonna have to go rock bottom. But now, rock bottom is not a bad level, but it's definitely one of the weakest. This level is just all over the place. Puzzles are boring, it's way too easy to exploit. Sandy's glide can literally take you anywhere, and I mean, I think at one point I just jumped off the side of the map and made it to the slide without having to do any of the platforming challenges at all. But the dynamic completely shifts once you enter the museum. Now, the museum is one of my favorite parts of the game. It just sucks that you kind of have to go through rock bottom first, but I guess games don't have the most perfect levels. Now, with the museum, you get all sorts of fun platforming challenges and tricky jumps that you're meant to push through, and it really gives off some Sly Cooper vibes. But it's also home to one of the most rage-inducing things in the game. These goddamn tires. I don't know how many times I misinterpreted jumping these tires, but I always get zapped by the goddamn umbrella robots, and it keeps killing me, and I just... I'm not too sure about these paintings, though, to be honest. I mean, what? Now we're continuing on to Sand Mountain, which is honestly one of the most clever levels in this game. Now, replicating water, we got goo. Replicating ice you can't replicate. I guess you can freeze goo, but then that only takes you so much, you know. This game uses white sand as snow, and it's very interesting, and it actually works perfectly well. They also use the white sand particles floating in the air to make it emulate snow, and I think for an underwater setting, it's very cool. I mean, the snow doesn't even fall, it floats around like it does in water, but it works perfectly, and it feels like I'm actually in a snowy mountaintop. And to top it off, you get these snowboarding races, or tongue boarding races, I guess. Anyways, some of them are a tad infuriating because you have to do it over and over again, but I mean, what game is not infuriating when there's no challenge, right? Anyways, they're fun and unique in their own ways, each of them becoming slightly more challenging as you move on, and it's like a fun little mini game subtracting from the main platforming part of the game. And oh my god, Patrick has turned into a robot. Okay. And Patrick is an actual boss. Like, actually. He's hard as Now, he's pretty difficult. His first wave, I'll give it to him. It's pretty easy, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie. His first wave, not a challenge at all. Am I right? But once SpongeBob gets frozen, then you're forced to play as Sandy. Now, with Sandy, Patrick will slowly eat up the floor with acid, and you have to swing from these switches to pull boxes down to hit Patrick on his bottom. But Patrick has a spin move that actually destroys these platforms, and sometimes he destroys the platform that you have to land on. So you would have to start the entire process of swinging on the switches and destroying Patrick all over again, pretty much. But soon, Patrick eventually gets rid of the entire floor, and we're forced to play as SpongeBob again. And now, with this point, we have no limited space. We have no space at all. We're forced to avoid his ice cream his ice cream shots that he shoots at us, and the ice cream actually takes a part of the floor, so it's hard to jump to different places because, you know, sometimes it's full of ice cream. But eventually you'll get your mojo, you'll defeat Patrick, and you'll move on to the final hub world of the game. In the final area of Bikini Bottom, we get the Krusty Krab. It's a fun visit, and of course there's a challenge in there as well to get another spatula. But there's also one of the more strange areas in the game. So SpongeBob kind of just passes out in the middle of the road, right? And we enter SpongeBob's dream, where we get multiple difficult platforming challenges for us to go through. First, though, we start off with Sandy's dream, and I'm just going to let Plankton handle this one for us.
Who puts challenges in their own dreams?
But with those challenges, we get some pretty fun stuff. We get a very long clam boarding track that leads us to a golden spatula, and we also get a fun little combat challenge to take us away from everything else as well. But overall, Sandy's dream pretty easy, and it's pretty fun to play as well. Now we got to move on to Squidward. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh god, what's going on? Anyways, here in Squidward's dream, we actually have to jump on notes that are coming out of his clarinet. And with those notes, some of them break free, and we can fall to our deaths with them. So be careful and be vigilant while you're jumping over the notes. And of course, but the absolute worst dream of all. And there's nothing worse in this game than Mr. Krabs' dream.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Don't even get me started on this goddamn challenge. There's way too many enemies to keep up with. First, we have to defeat all the enemies to unveil Krabby Patties, and use the pieces of the Krabby Patties to get to the Duplatrons and destroy that so they can stop making robots, and then defeat every robot. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, fuck me. This is so purely unnecessary because all these robots are huge robots with huge attacks that can do major damage to you and fling you back almost off the edge every single time. And to make matters worse, they're not hard to kill, right? Wrong. Even though the big robots aren't very hard to kill, you still have little robots running around hitting you every now and then while you're trying to defeat the big robots. And to be honest, it's just way too much, and it's absolutely unnecessary, and it makes me absolutely terrified to try out Patrick's dream. So let's just hurry up and get this over with.
Patrick, you have a golden spatula. Give it here.
Not so fast, SpongeBob. You'll have to pass my test before you get this golden spatula.
Very well, sir. Challenge accepted.
Very well. Your challenge is to find the golden spatula!
You're holding it.
You did it! Now here is your reward.
Was that it? This dream sucks. Let's leave this place. You know what? Let's do something relaxing. Let's go to the Kelp Forest. You know, I love forest levels. They're always so... It's a jungle level. And oh my, is it absolutely terrible. Kelp Forest is absolutely the worst level in the game. this level is so all over the place. It's too much. It makes no sense. It's absolutely everywhere, and there's no real clue where to go. I kind of just got frustrated and left. And I went to different levels to get those spatulas just so I can get to the very end, the very next level in the game, because this level is horrendous. In fact, I only got 2 spatulas in total in this entire level. It's not good. It's not fun. And it's the worst level in the game, but this doesn't stop the game from being good. Every game has a worse level. Let's just continue on. So now we're moving on to the final level in the game, the boat graveyard. And for a game's final level, this one's actually pretty challenging, with multiple complex puzzles and interesting enemy placements, and one of my favorite bosses in the entire game, the Flying Dutchman. He's not difficult, but he just feels very nostalgic in a sense, if that makes sense. But for some reason, towards the end of the level, there's a breakaway bridge that gets you to another boat that you have to cross. But when you first do the level, the big enemy is on the boat. But when you go back to do the level, he's on the breakaway bridge. Now, with the breakaway bridge, there's little planks that you have to jump on, right? Now, this enemy shoots this ink that actually is bigger than the breakaway bridge pieces. So if you're on that piece and he shoots that ink, or if he shoots the ink before you land on the piece, you're screwed. Why? Now, this is absolutely infuriating when you're going back, and thank God I did it, because I'm not going back to that goddamn place ever in my life. It's the worst. It's absolutely horrendous for no reason at all. And to be honest, it shouldn't exist in the game. They should have just kept him on the boat instead of putting him on the breakaway bridge. And to be honest, I just want to get this game over with. Let's go on to the chum bucket and let's go defeat Plankton. So, for the final boss, we have another robot, right? We had Mecha Sandy, Mecha Patrick. Only fitting to have Mecha Me. Now Robot Spongebob is challenging. He has 3 attacks in total. Not that bad, but it gets bad when it repeats. So when his attacks repeat, some of his attacks are wide range. So it's like a shotgun. It shoots in 3 different platforms. But sometimes you're on the first platform and you know you're not going to make it. So you have to jump down and reset his attacks so you can get in the middle or the farthest right one. It's very hard, but it's fun, and it's actually, challenging, and it's something that I enjoyed to find while playing the game, that there was a little bit more challenge in here. But of course it gets infuriating, but overall not a bad boss fight. But now we have to go defeat Robot Plankton inside Robot SpongeBob's robot head. And the only way to defeat him is pretty easy. Several platforming challenges. You just have to defeat all these robots, and then you have to hit Plankton when he comes down to say hi whenever he really feels like it. And after that, you're pretty much done. Now, we've completed the game. Surely there's nothing more we can...
Need I remind you all that there are still robots out there making a mess of Bikini Bottom?
Sandy is right.
Well, I thought she was a squirrel.
I'm being punished. I don't know for what, but I'm being punished.
There's still work to be done out there. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy wouldn't stop, and neither will I. We can't rest until Bikini Bottom is safe.
Well, if beating the game wasn't satisfying for you, you can go back and collect every single item in the game, completing it 100. That means all socks, spatulas, and Mr. Krab's shiny object missions, giving a lot more replayability. I would love to do this, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time, and the next game is sitting right here waiting for me to play it for the next GameThru episode. So, I think I'm just going to stick with this bleak ending. Have a good one, guys.
Oh, I certainly did. Next time I'll get it right.
Ouch! We won! Who wants to get ice cream?
I do.